But I think, one of the key things that I think is being missed in this whole debate that's going on now is that we adopted these very strong measures. These are unprecedented burdens on civil liberties right now. The idea that you have to stay in your house is disturbingly close to house arrest. I'm not saying it wasn't justified. I'm not saying in some places it might be still justified. But it's very onerous, as is shutting down your livelihood. So these are very, very burdensome impingements on liberties. And we adopted them, we have to remember, for the limited purpose of slowing down the spread, that is, bending the curve. We didn't adopt them as the comprehensive way of dealing with this disease. And we have now seeing that these are bending the curve, and now we have to come up with more targeted approaches. To me, this is a little bit like, fighting a cancer, which is, sometimes cancer is spreading, and one of the treatments you can use is chemotherapy to drive it back and localize it and make it more susceptible to surgery or more targeted thing like radiation or even immunotherapy. But your first thing is to drive it back to a more manageable state. And that's what we're doing and have done. And the question is, you can't just keep on feeding the patient chemotherapy and say, well, we're killing the cancer, because we're getting to the point where we're killing the patient. And now is the time that we have to start looking ahead and shifting to more targeted therapies. Well, we did more than put them on notice. We filed a statement of interest in a case in Mississippi where they were discriminating against religious practice and putting restrictions on religion that they were not putting on commercial activities that had all the same features. And we filed a statement of interest, and I understand that the government has pulled back from those restrictions, at least to some degree so far. So, and I issued a statement pointing out that whatever measures are placed against religion have to be placed against all comparable commercial and other activities. You can't single out religion for special burdens. But
go ahead.
It's not just religion, though. I think as we go forward, I personally think that given the uncertainties involved at the beginning, the president's initial approach of a period of time to bend the curve were appropriate. But I think we have made a lot of progress in bending the curve, and I think we now, as I say, have to fine-tune these things. I think we have to make a distinction between orders that tell people or principles that say, you have to keep your distance of 6 feet, you should be washing, you should be wearing PPE when you're out and about. Those are fine because I think those, arrest the transmission from person to person. But blunter instruments that say that everyone has to shelter in place and stay at home regardless of the situation on the ground, or you shut down a business regardless of the capacity of a business to operate safely for its customers and its employees. Those are very blunt instruments, and I think, as I say, I think we have to adapt them more to the circumstance, and the president's plan does that. I also think that we have to give businesses more freedom to operate in a way that's reasonably safe. They know their business. They have the capacity to figure out, as the Marines say, improvise, adapt, and overcome, how to conduct their business in a way that's safe. And I think we have to give businesses that opportunity. The question really shouldn't be, some government saying, well, is this essential or not essential? The question is, can this business be operated safely?